The dream began the way so many of them did, with a hallway that belonged to no house she had ever lived in, and yet felt like every hallway she'd ever walked. The walls were the color of old paper. The floorboards sighed underfoot. At the end of the hall stood a small wooden dresser with a single, stubborn drawer that wouldn't open. Nora woke with the sense that the drawer mattered. She could still feel the thin, cool handle against her palm, still hear the soft refusal of wood on wood. She went about her morning anyway. Coffee, emails, a call she didn't want to make, but every time she paused, the dream stepped closer, as if waiting by the door. That night, the dream returned. This time she reached the dresser without hesitation, kneeling so her eyes were level with the grain. She tried the handle once, twice, 3 times. "No, give, please," she whispered, and was surprised to hear the word catch in her throat. The drawer shivered, then slid open with a sigh. Inside lay a stack of letters tied with a pale blue ribbon, and on top of them a photograph of her mother in a yellow dress, laughing into the sun. Her mother's hair was longer than Nora had ever seen it in real life. The dress was one Nora didn't recognize. Nora touched the edge of the photograph, afraid it would dissolve. When she looked again, the blue ribbon was in her hand. She woke with the ribbon still clenched between her fingers. It was impossible. The silk was warm where her palm had kept it, and when she lifted it to her face, it held the faintest trace of her mother's perfume, that powdery sweetness from a decade ago. Nora called her aunt that afternoon. "Did Mom ever have a yellow dress?" she asked, trying to sound casual and failing. There was a long silence on the line. "She did," her aunt said at last. "She wore it the summer she decided to keep you." The story spilled out like a secret everyone had been waiting to tell. The letters, the fear, the way her mother had stood in a field at dusk, ribbon in hand, promising a life she wasn't sure she could deliver, and delivering it anyway. That evening, Nora walked until the city's noise thinned. She found a small park, sat on a bench, and tied the blue ribbon around her wrist. The knot was simple, a child's knot, the kind you make when you don't want something to come loose. She didn't know what the drawer would show her next, or if it would open again at all, but she knew this. The answers were willing to meet her halfway. When she slept, the hallway was waiting. The dresser stood steady, the drawer at rest. Nora placed her hand on the wood with gratitude rather than need. Behind her, down the hallway, a door opened to a room filled with the soft sound of laughter. The sound of a promise kept closing, quote, "Messages found in dreams can answer you while awake."